it's Alicia and welcome to my channel Papercraft Secrets. Today I'm sharing a card tutorial using Mintay's Suntastic collection. This tutorial was requested by Linda Hunt, and Linda, this is especially for you. I hope you enjoy it. Today we're going to make a set of 5 cards and decorate the matching envelopes, and then we will decorate a box for all of those to go in to create a lovely gift to give to somebody special. Let's get started. So I'll just talk you through what I've got here on my table. The first thing is I've run out of my Kaiser Craft note cards in craft, and I thought craft would be nice to pair with this collection for something a little bit different. So I've just cut these up myself to fit in with the Kaiser Craft envelopes. I'm only making a set of 5 cards today because I want them to be able to fit into this little box. I want to make a little gift box. So I've got 5 cards here, and I have cut them to 5 3/4 by 8.5 inches. Kind of a strange size, but it's mainly just to fit that envelope. You could cut yours to whatever size you want. I've used 2 of the number 6 papers from the Mintay Suntastic collection. On one side is the frames. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've cut 5 frames with the middle out, as well as 5 frames leaving the middle in, and then I've got 2 over there that I'm thinking I might use for decoration for the box. So there's 5 there, and there's 5 there. I'm going to decorate envelopes today. So these ones with the inside still intact are going to go on the front of the card, and these ones with the inside cut out are going to go onto the envelope. I've also cut out a whole sheet of number 6 fussy cutting pictures from Suntastic, and they're beautiful designs. So they're going to be featuring on the cards. I've used the 6x6 scrapbooking paper pad, and I've used one of the sheets to cut 5 1.5 inch strips, and then I think I might have used another 2 sheets to cut 15 3/4 inch strips. I have selected some chipboard for my cards. I've got 2 little bicycles and some seaweed there. I found 10 little flowers that I like in the pastel-y, beachy colours. I found 5 sentiments from the cardboard sticker sheet that I would like to use. I'm thinking about using some cheesecloth and some twine, perhaps in a bow. What I'm planning to do here is I'm going to this stencil, and I'm going to try spraying it with this to create a waved effect, like the ocean. And then I'm going to use the opposite. I'll just press that down. We're going to do that stencil on each of the 5 cards, and we're also going to do the stencil on the 5 envelopes as well. Just pop those aside until they are dry, Once the cards are dry, spread all 5 of them on your table out in front of you, and we're going to use the 1.5 inch strip. We're going to glue that onto the right hand side of the card, but there's going to be a little bit of craft cardstock left on the edge. Secondly, we're going to take the 3/4 inch strips and we're going to glue those overlapping the 1.5 inch strips, but they're not going to start right at the top of the card, they're going to start a little bit down the card on a diagonal line. Once you are happy with the position of the card, of the strip, just pop them under something heavy so that the card dries nice and flat. This is also a great way to use up some scraps of the last little bits of your paper collection. Spread out the envelopes in front of you. We're going to add an open frame to each envelope, and we're also going to add 2 3/4 inch strips to each envelope. Let's do the strips first. One at the bottom, one at the top, slightly overlapping. Once you've got all those strips securely glued on, you can just trim your edges off. And you'll also have a couple of little edges on your cards to trim off as well. Alright, let's go back to laying these out in front of us so that they have their paper strips on them. We're going to apply the open frame to the envelopes. We're going to use some recycled cardboard for the backs of the 4x6 number 6 squares or rectangles, just to add a little bit of dimension. And we're going to stick them over onto the left hand side of the card slightly, just not exactly in the middle. Choose a piece of cheesecloth for each card and glue it to the frame. Now it's time for our fussy cut images. Choose one fussy cut image for each card and glue those down. We're now going to position our chipboard and our flowers onto the card with the hot glue gun. And we're going to do that to each of the cards. The next step is to choose a sentiment for each card from the Mintay Suntastic cardboard sticker sheet. Actually cut longer ones in half to fit better onto a card, and the stickiness isn't too sticky, so you can actually put them down, pick them up, change their position a little bit before making sure they're securely glued down onto the card. We're going to add one of the fussy cut images to each envelope. And then we're going to add another sentiment from the cardboard sticker sheet. One sentiment for each envelope. We're going to tie some bows with the white twine, and we're going to glue that onto the front of each envelope. The ends can be trimmed once they're glued down to finish the bow neatly. And we are going to add some tiny little gold stars to decorate the envelope. I decided to add a strip of scalloped lace on the right hand side of our paper strip. This can slide in underneath the layers and just creates extra dimension for the card. The next step is to take some fussy cut images and layer them underneath the frame of the card to just create a little bit more extra interest and to help balance the card out a little. The floral clusters are the easiest layers to pop under something because they always look really good. Now we're just adding on a little resin flower for each card. And some little golden stars. And that's our cards and envelopes finished. Now we're going to move on to decorating the box that the cards and envelopes will live in. Just going to sprinkle some white mist over the cards to add a little bit more of a mixed media effect. I've just used the 6x6 paper. I've cut one of the papers in half, which is the apricot shutters. I'm going to glue that on each side of the box, and then I'm going to fussy cut out that door and pop it in the middle. So I glued the door section on the outer edges, and then I trimmed the leftover edges with my scissors. This is the door that I want to use in the middle. I fussy cut that out, and I'm just going to glue that in the middle there where the gap is between the two doors. And that will be the base of my front cover of the box. I'm going to use some clear gesso to put a layer over the top of the box. And I'm also going to use some lace to go around the edge of the lid. For the sides of the boxes, I found some more paper from the 6x6 paper pad, and I've glued that onto one end. And then with my scissors, I'm just going around to trim off any excess paper. Now I'm going to do the other end. You can choose any paper from the 6x6 paper pad for this, or if you have the 12x12, you could use the 12x12 paper. And now I'm just going to put a layer of gesso over the top. I'm looking at the side of the box now. I will have a slight join in my paper. I'm just going to rip and tear a layer to cover that up. Just trimming off the excess materials. And you'll see there is a line there where the gap is. I actually just rip some white paper and just cover that join up. If you're using your 12 by 12 paper, you won't have to worry about that. Just a layer of gesso on top of the papers and set that aside to dry. Back to the lid of the box now. I'm going to add some cheesecloth and a wooden dream catcher I've tied some twine through the hole of the dream catcher. Then I'm adding a sentiment on top of the dream catcher, and I've got some more of those flowers to add to the front of the box. Give the box a sprinkling of that white misting spray, make it look like sea foam, and I'm going to add in a couple of little resin flowers, and some of those tiny little gold stars. Let's pop the lid on. We've got the lace around the lid now. And I'm just going to add a little bit of that white ripped strip to the side. And that's our finished project. 5 beautiful Suntastic cards with coordinating envelopes and a matching box to give these to somebody special. Linda, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and I hope this provides you with some inspiration to use your Mintay Suntastic papers. Please subscribe to my channel and have a lovely crafty day.